This 5-minute technique can be used to reduce anxiety, worry, or fears, or release an emotional attachment to a previous memory so you don't keep reliving a negative memory over and over in your mind. So this is a NLP, a neuro-linguistic programming technique, and it works by reprogramming how we remember things in our minds so we can remember an event without all that negative emotional attachment. This then impacts our thought process, and if we think differently, we behave differently, so it changes our thoughts, our feelings and behaviours. Is very powerful. So in a moment I'm going to ask you to think about a memory or an event, and I'm going to ask you to close your eyes as well. So you can choose something that's happened this week, or it could be years ago, but it's something where you've felt a negative emotion when you think about it, like panic or anxiety, guilt or shame. So you'll have your eyes closed for a few minutes and you can just follow along to my instructions. So let's do that now. Close your eyes and bring your awareness inside and bring back that event, that memory, into the forefront of your mind. And when you've got that memory there, when you're thinking about this memory, just think about how uncomfortable it is now for you to think about it on a scale of 1 to 10. So 1, it doesn't bother you at all, and 10 is it's so difficult to think about this and makes you really uncomfortable. So just remember that rating, just remember that number. When you see this memory in your mind, just think about how you picture it in your mind, and also where are you feeling it in your body. So firstly, let's think about that picture in your mind. Is it a big picture? Are you in the memory, or are you watching yourself? Is it bright? Is it dim? So now I'm going to ask you to change that memory. So we'll start with a picture, and if you can start by taking a few steps back mentally out of the picture. So you're now looking at yourself, looking at that memory, and then put a frame around the memory, a frame around the picture. And if there's any movement to it, just start to think of everyone and everything slowing right down and coming to a stop. So it's more like a still photograph. And now think about draining all the colour out of that picture. See it draining away, turning grey or black and white. And that means it's getting more hazy and blurry. Now I want you to start making that picture smaller, so you can mentally think about folding it in half again, and keep folding that picture in your mind in half so it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And now it's so small it can fit on your fingertip. And now I want you to think about blowing it away or sending it away in your mind so that tiny little picture gets further and further away. More and more insignificant, goes into the distance. Push it further and further away so it's just a speck on the horizon. And now if there's any sounds associated to this memory, either background noise or it could be internal thoughts, we're going to turn them right down as well. So we're going to turn them down from a 5 to a 4 to a 3 to a 2, 1 and 0. And lastly, I want you to think about where you were feeling this in your body when you thought about this memory. Is it a feeling in your head, your chest, your stomach? Where are you feeling it? And what kind of feeling is it? Is it heavy or light? I want you to focus on that feeling, and I want you to reverse how it feels. So if it's a heavy feeling, think about it getting lighter and lighter. If it's a feeling that moves, start to think about bringing it to a stop, becoming still. Just reverse however you're feeling. And now take that feeling wherever it is in your body and move it outside of you. So think about all of that feeling, that big feeling like a blob detaching itself and moving outside of you so it's external to you. And it's now in front of you. So really think about all of it detaching. So it's sitting in front of you. And then send that feeling away. Mentally move it further and further into the distance. Perhaps you can think of it floating into the sky, into the clouds, and just further and further away. And once that's totally left you, totally gone, think of that memory again now, and how are you feeling now on a scale of 1 to 10? Has the number changed from 5 minutes ago? And now you can open your eyes and you can take a nice deep breath, and know you can use this technique anytime you want to help with anything causing stress or a similar emotion, and it can help you return to a state of calm. And it can reprogram past memories so they don't bother you in the same way in the present. I hope you found this useful.